Was brutally stabbed to death inside her own apartment over the weekend. Today, cries for help and for change from those who not only knew her, but also the community. News 12 reporter Katie Lusso has more from Chinatown in Manhattan.
Christina, with you!
Today, a community once again calling for justice and for change.
Christina, with you!
Outside the home of Christina Yuna Lee.
Whether it is a hate crime or you're saying that it doesn't qualify to be a hate crime, I need you to acknowledge the gender as well as the race of the woman who was attacked.
Lee was 35 years old, a Korean-American woman who worked at Splice.
She could have been your friend, she could have been my friend, she could have been my sister, she could have been me.
She called this 6-story walk-up in Chinatown home.
She was just a dream to have around. I haven't been able to sleep since Sunday.
Brian Chin is the landlord of the building, which he says has been in his family for decades. He says he immediately connected with Lee when they learned they were both Rutgers University graduates.
She graduated only a few years prior to me. She was smart, successful, independent, everything that people should be aspire to be.
Early Sunday morning, police say this man, 25-year-old Asamad Nash, followed her into the building, up the stairs, and pushed his way into her apartment. Once inside, cops say a neighbor heard screams and called 911. When police arrived, they say they couldn't get in. According to the criminal complaint, Nash allegedly imitated the voice of a woman and said they didn't need police. But when officers were finally able to get inside, they say they found Lee with more than 40 stab wounds. Nash was taken into custody at the scene and charged with murder and burglary. Court records show he was out on supervised release with numerous prior arrests, most recently for punching a stranger on the subway.
He should have been in jail. This man should have been in jail.
While some blame lack of housing or mental health services, Chin and several others in attendance at the rally blame the bail reform laws currently in place.
Just looking at the broad facts of the case, no matter how the politicians are trying to spin it, he would not have been released if this was a couple years ago before the bail reform.
This is a crazy city now. Reform is always good, but this reform is bad reform.
Tonight, as the memorial continues to grow here outside her home, the community vows to never forget her or the horror that unfolded 6 flights up inside her home. In Chinatown, I'm Katie Lusso, News 12.